You're tuned into Raw Brilliance with Mansa J. We got a live one for y'all today.
As y'all just heard that intro, I'd like to welcome y'all back to another episode of Raw Brilliance with Mansa J. I'm here with a show friend, a show contributor.
What's up?
Miss Song.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
That's my best.
So I want to bring you on to introduce you to the people because you're a new part of the Raw Brilliance team and family.
Can I just ride along and watch for a while and then jump out and say, hey, my name is Song?
Yeah, I'm cool with that. It's your world. It's your world.
It's your world. It's your world.
I ain't nothing but a nut trying to... Wait, is a squirrel trying to get a nut?
It's a nut?
Okay, it's something like that. I'm coming around. I'm coming. I'm still trying to wake up even though it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But anyway, so Miss Song is a singer. She's working in film, has worked in film and movies and classics and H-Town classics for y'all Texas kids out there.
Oh my God.
Men and women out there.
The underground hood movies.
Underground hood movies.
Killing the badge. I was a part of H-Town mobbing. I was a part of. Look at your famous man. Your phone ringing.
Oh my God.
I had the team that worked on, Fifth Ward stuff was the same team I worked on with Killing the Badge and the other film I worked on, H-Town Mobbing. So yeah.
That was crazy because as soon as I watched that movie, I was like, one, I don't remember watching it, but I'm like, how did I not see this? It had Flip in it. Yeah. It had like all the classics in there.
Lil Flip, South Park Mexican, Lil Troy.
My whole childhood was in there. And I was like, how did I not see this movie? Who released this? It was no promotion or nothing for it?
No, do you remember, you was a kid then. Back in the day for a little while when the rappers were first coming out, they make their own. First they make the mixtapes, then they started making their own movies. Like right around that time, Dolomite was like having a resurgence in the hip hop world, and people was like, yeah, we can make our own movies like Dolomite did.
Wait, Dolomite the person or just what he did?
What he did, his old movies.
Yeah, his own movies.
Back in the day when kids was rap. Okay, so like when Lil Flip and them was coming up, they used to be at the studio playing video games and watching Dolomite movies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I still haven't seen an actual Dolomite movie.
You got to.
I know.
I kind of haven't seen one all the way through. I always be like, I don't get it. But then, they did. They got it because they understood where he came from and he was doing it himself.
Yeah, what he was trying to do.
So a lot of them back at that time started making movies. So that's when who made a movie? Lil Troy made like 2 movies.
For real?
Uh-huh.
I ain't seen none of them.
Oh yeah, they always making. Who else was making movies?
They probably was like going straight to like the stores with
Straight
them.
to video.
Yeah, so straight to video into the stores. Like because I remember I used to go to Houston when I was a kid, like to the swap meets and stuff like that, and you'll see all the bootleg movies up there. Like
exactly.
But I was only going down there to get like the tapes and stuff like that,
Yeah.
So I didn't know they was in the movies. I wasn't there yet, but yeah, when I seen that, I was like, wow. But that just shows like the whole Texas. How like we're so independent in everything that we do. Like
I learned
they
a
was
lot
always like that though.
From the rappers.
With the music, yeah. It wasn't the South in general, but Texas for sure because we're so far away from everything. But
and Houston is so big a town, and at that time, like Screw was just getting started. Fat Pat had just died.
What year was this?
98.
98.
98, 99. It came out.
Okay, so I was in elementary.
Yeah. You're such a kid.
I'm such a baby. Well, I'm grown up, got my man beard coming in now.
Yeah.
We out here. So, but what got you into the movies though? You were just singing like for like, or
I have
working
2
with
passions.
different
I have 2 passions: movies and music and movies.
Okay.
And so my first passion is music, and then I didn't know I had a passion for movies until later because because of the music business, you meet people, in circles and stuff. I got invited to work on a Rap A Lot video. So like, I don't know if it was Rap A Lot. I don't know if he was signed to Rap A Lot, but the first video I worked on was knocking pictures off the wall. from
beating
Youngstar.
down your block, knocking pictures off the wall.
Yeah.
Riding old school, sipping on the daily
I
basis.
can't believe it.
What?
Yes, sipping
Come
on
on
the
now.
daily basis.
That's my childhood.
Yeah,
yo.
so that was the first music video I worked on. I worked on it for free, and then I learned a lot. And so the lady who was in charge of the production then, she invited me to work on another video. So I worked on Sex Face with Brad. Is that our guest coming in?
Yeah,
so come on.
He coming.
Yeah, and so when we did that video, I realized that I like the magic. I like the magic of making movies and making film. What was interesting is that was before HD. So everybody was doing like 35 millimeter cameras and doing real film.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So whenever we had a lighting issue, we would come up with something, like if we couldn't get the shadows right, we used to fix it right on the spot and make it movie magic. That's the kind of stuff that I fell in love with. So then I was like, I want to do this. I want to make movies and stuff. So then I just started meeting all the people on the teams, like the light grips, the lighting team, the sound team, the camera team, the DPs. I started learning all the different parts, and I got everybody's phone number. Everybody. And here's my number to everybody. When you're on a production, if you need somebody, call me. And I worked for free for a long time, and then I worked for small money, and then people just start calling me.
And then everybody just start coming, and then
one day the director called and said, "Song, instead of you being behind camera, we want to put you in the movie. We wrote a part for you." I started laughing. I was like, "No." He said, "No, I wrote a part for you."
Yeah.
His name is John Darbone.
He was dead serious.
He was dead serious. He wrote a part for me, and
I seen it, I watched the parts with you in it, and I was like, this shit is crazy, yo. I was like, how did I not see these movies, man?
Yeah.
I was so disappointed in my older brothers for not putting me on this, man.
But it was totally underground. Like, I don't even know how the movie still survives. Like, it got on Netflix for a little while.
It was on Netflix?
It was on Netflix. You can still get it on Netflix from the DVD department.
Oh, okay.
You can, but it was on Netflix streaming for a short time. And then now my friend just has it on. A friend of mine has it on YouTube.
Man,
but
that's
it's funny.
crazy.
It's
yeah.
funny.
I can't
How you
believe
doing?
that.
I'm Song.
I'm Milkweed.
Nice to meet you, Milkweed.
Yeah. Our next guest just
I know,
came
you
in.
all right.
He'll about 22 minutes early, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that right there.
That's
The
what's
boy's
up.
on point.
That's that energy right there.
Yeah, but so you travel was singing in Paris and stayed in Paris and stuff for a while and all that type of stuff?
Yeah, I've done a lot of stuff. So right when I finished doing H-Town Mobbin', the movie, then I went to visit Bordeaux, France. And while I was in Bordeaux, France, I was just in love with it. And that was at the height of neo-soul music.
Okay.
So people was doing neo-soul in France like Americans, only they didn't have authentic American singers, you know what I mean? So they had French people trying to sing in English and all of this stuff. So while I was there, I went to some open mics and sang and stuff, and quickly met a lot of musicians and started moving around, you know what I mean? So I came back to the States, and then I was like, I love France so much, I'm gonna go back and live. So when I finished my contract, I went back and I stayed, and I ended up staying for 10 years. Wow. And I made 2 albums. You want to click?
Oh no, it's good.
Yeah, I made I worked on a gospel album, and I worked on a
gospel album. I didn't know that. For real?
I said I would never sing gospel. I'm like the child of God in Christ child right here.
Okay.
My dad was a preacher, so I'm PK.
Okay.
So I resisted doing any kind of gospel music. I was I'm not doing gospel. But then when I was in France,
why though? Just because your dad was a preacher?
Just because that's all I used to bring in the New Year's on my knees.
Oh, singing and praising.
We went to church on Sunday, Wednesday,
I was the same
Friday, and Saturday. You know what I mean? Right. So
yeah.
so I was just I'm resisting.
Yeah.
And, I went through a whole period too where I resisted anything R&B as well. Because
you wouldn't sing R&B?
I did not. I was not into R&B at the time that R&B was really, really up there. I was into what's his name? Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, okay.
I was into stuff that distorted guitars and I was into crazy stuff. But then that's what expanded my world. So doing gospel, I had to eat. I couldn't do any other job in France, so I sang in 5 or 6 different groups. So I sang in like a cover band, I sang in a gospel band, I had a band for my music, and then my girlfriend had a band, so I did backup for her, and another guy friend of mine had a solo band, and I sang backup for him. So I worked behind people where people were behind me, you know.
That's what I always like, before I start having kids and stuff, man, like, I gotta go live abroad for like 1 or 2 years. Like, just go.
I think everyone should do it.
Yeah, like, definitely. It's like a different, Americans are, I am American and like to the fullest, but it's just, I just need that different experience. Like, and just to go say you live like in Paris for 10 years or France for 10 years or whatever, that's amazing. And that's dope, like, to be able to like, to tell kids about the world when you actually been into the world, you know?
It's true. It's also a good way to teach yourself what you're capable of.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
if you know, it's the unknown. So if you walk into the unknown, if you don't know what you're capable of unless you walk into the unknown. So you have to like try something you've never done before. It stretches you. It enlightens you. It broadens your horizons. Literally, you know. You hear other music. I heard a lot of African music while I was in France. Really trippy for me. That my biggest cultural education actually happened for like 4 or 5 years while I was in France because a lot of African music is on the radio there, and because people actually gave concerts and people would show up, you know. So and lots of different kind of African music, not just, you know, you got Ivory Coast, you got, you know, people from Senegal, you had people from the island.